Alright, what it is, Danny X. I'm back here with Cap Chatfield, and we got a little bit of a different one today. He's talking about the uh, situation that's going on at the border, and keep in mind that a nation's strength comes from its independence, which comes from its ability to enforce its border. Now, in our case, we have the ability, but not the will. And when I say me, I'm talking about the government's making the decisions, not the people, of course.
I'm not going to lie, guys. This is super concerning to me. And this is coming from a guy who was a pastor first, a minister first, an entrepreneur, a content creator. I'm not a politician, and I don't ever intend to be a politician. I don't sense God's calling on my life with that. But I do love America. And I do believe that the Bible says contend for the well.
Well, you know what? American patriot, defiance of tyranny is obedience to freedom. Give me liberty or give me death on the back of my neck right here. And that's something we have in common there, Cap. That's something we have in common. America has a spirit of freedom, and it is for people who want to live free. And we are being invaded right now, and it's intentionally being let happen by the power. Texas keeps trying to enforce the wall, and the federal government keeps telling them no, stop enforcing the wall. What's going on there?
Welfare of the city that you're planted in. Wherever God has placed you, seek its prosperity. That's what it says in Jeremiah. And what I see happening right now in this country is blowing my mind. And here's the charge. I'm going to share videos that have just emerged.
I apologize for the technical difficulties. That's an unfortunate result of my lack of equipment, and I just got to roll with it till I get some equipment.
Right now, of what's happening in our country. There's an absolute, I'm just going to call it spade a spade. There is an invasion happening of our...
Hey-oh, it's an invasion. It damn sure is. It's a fucking invasion, bro. And it's intentional. Like, that is not an accident. And when did that just really kick off? You know, within the last couple years? I mean... What was the problem with securing the borders again? What was the problem with the wall around the border again? What was the problem with that?
Country. And we need to care. We need to care, and we need to make a decision about how we're going to be involved in this thing and help protect people and ensure that lawlessness does not ensue. I'm going to share with you some footage that just came out today about the southern border.
So check it out. They are letting these people in and then shipping them off to these bigger cities, right? Because, you know, Texas done got overrun with them. They started shipping them off to all the other big cities. And in some of those big cities, like New York, they have legalized crime while letting all these refugees in, legalizing crime, pretty much telling them they can do what they want. And then once the crime escalates, that they bring the army in and be like, oh, I guess we gotta police everyone with the military now. I guess we just have to. Yeah, that definitely wasn't an accident. That's not an accident.
How there's literally an invasion from people all over the world, not just Mexico, all over the world, coming in through the southern border, probably a lot of them with malintentions. I'm going to share with you a second video of a way that our country is being invaded that nobody's aware of. Nobody's talking about this. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to share...
It's a whole different way, Cap? You mean besides the invasion at the border way?
Specifically, why you and I need to care. Especially if you're a Christian, why you and I should care and how we can practically...
Come on now, Cap. Christians aren't the only ones that love freedom, bro. Especially if you're Christian. How about especially if you love freedom and wish to preserve freedom in America? How about that?
Care and do meaningful work regarding what's happening. But first, let me show you what's happening. Here's what we're seeing happen right now. This is a picture of a riot. This footage just came out today.
That is literally what you would call a fucking invasion. That is literally an invasion. And you can tell that all of our military, that they got their hands tied, or else they know what to do about that. But no, they got the order to not hurt anyone. Apparently, that's why all these people are emboldened to just bum rush them. So that is a literal definition of a riot, a rampaging riot, which might be interpreted as a invasion.
Also, Texas. Look at this, by the way. All I see fencing at the southern border. And you can just watch this. Just watch how they bum rush through, I think it's the National Guard, the Texas National Guard. Look at this. It's insane.
It's not. I mean, yeah, it's like surreal, but I wouldn't say it's insane. It's obviously intentional. That is part of the plan. Bring a bunch of people in that hate America, totally blow out our economy.
And by the way, this is like, these are a few dozen people right here, but this is happening in the thousands every single week, all across the southern border. These people are coming in. Some of them likely looking for political asylum.
No, it is a non-stop invasion, non-stop, all day, every day, crossing the border. And as I said, a nation's independence is their strength, and your ability to assert your borders is your independence. So we're forfeiting our and our authority. Willfully too. We have the power, we have the authority, we have the resources, and they are all getting stand down orders. And not only stand down orders, but when Texas goes to defend themselves from this invasion because the federal government isn't helping, the federal government steps in and totally cuts them off at the knees and fights them to keep the borders open. So what's going on there? Yeah, total accident there. But no.
Looking to have a better life. But the amount of people that have been coming in over the past couple of years is it's in the millions. It's insane. It's overwhelming cities. You're seeing it happen in New York. You're seeing it happen in Chicago. You're seeing it happen in Denver. You're seeing these cities being overwhelmed financially by what's happening with the invasion at the southern border. I mean, quite frankly, how little it seems like people in politics actually care about what's happening. Not all of them, but it seems like most of them. All of this rhetoric, all this talking about how they want to fix this problem. Some of them don't want to fix the problem at all. Meanwhile, this is happening.
Some of them have actively contributed to the problem.
In our own country, and nothing's being done about it. I'm going to show you right now, though, an area that...
No, like I said, things are being done about it, but then they are being actively undone by the federalists.
This is crazy, because this is going to show how bad things really are in this country, and nobody's talking about this. Listen to what this farmer has to say. This is a cattle rancher. Listen to what he has to say about what's happening right now to our food industry, which will affect you and me and everyday Americans in this country. This is going to affect us in such a personal and real way if we don't get our act together. Listen to what he has to say.
We used to make fair amount of return on our cattle, but the industry has changed dramatically with the government allowing.
And that's all part of the plan. That they have their processes for squeezing out the middleman, for collapsing the prices to where people doing the work can't make a living off of it. I mean, this is a part of the play done over and over. If they find some land they want, that they will do something that gives them the entitlement to jack the taxes way up all the way around it so people can't pay it, therefore, collapsing their ability to maintain it, and they would come in and swoop it all up. So yeah, they're attacking our food right now. China has the biggest storage of food, and as he's about to mention, they have a very large percentage controlling interest in American food supply right now.
The consolidation of the meat processing business. Four companies, giant companies, got together and decided to roll that up, consolidate it, and that's just business. But when we get on the other side of it and we take into account the ramifications on our national economic health, it has a very detrimental effect. Our government allowed two giant companies controlled by foreign governments to come in and acquire. One of them is controlled by the Chinese, and they bought Smithfield out of North Carolina. And the other one was a Brazilian company that came in and bought up one of the other major players. So now,
both communists, notably.
Now we have an industry, 85% of it actually has been consolidated and rolled up and controlled by four companies.
And another company/individual who has a large controlling interest in our food industry is Bill Gates, who's American, but his heart doesn't lie with America. Let's just say that.
Companies now are dictating who gets what, where, and when. They say, but nobody thought our government would let 50% or more of the beef be controlled.
You understand
by
what he's talking
outside
about?
Of the U.S. It comes down to our own food source, the geopolitical situation we find ourselves in. Why would we want to have an antagonist own 25% of our meat processing? It makes no sense at all.
So, do you understand what he's saying? We are allowing China, our foreign adversary, communist China, not only, by the way, I don't know if you knew this, they're legally allowed through private enterprise to buy land, to buy American land in our own country.
Yeah, and check it out. Any company, any Chinese company is an extension of the government. So if a Chinese company buys land, then it is then owned by the Chinese government. Okay, yeah. Tell me that wasn't an accident. That was part of the plan. I mean...
And use it for their own purposes. Now you have them buying.
That's all part of maintaining the borders, and that's why, you can point to these things and say that they are actively not even allowing, but abiding in the destruction of America. And I'm talking about some of those in the government, obviously, because they're the ones that have allowed all this shit to go on.
Meat manufacturing companies. Are you kidding me? We are allowing the world to own our country. Other countries that are not aligned with our values at all, literally communist countries.
Yes.
To own land and to own our food supply, at least parts of it. And you don't think it's going to continue to grow in that?
Controlling interests as well, as far as the food supply right now.
Direction? If you were going to take over a country, let me just ask you this. If you were going to try to do it as under the radar as possible, how would you do it? You probably wouldn't drop a nuke on the country. First, you would create an amazingly addictive social media app. Maybe something like TikTok, for example. And you would use that app,
which is a technological Trojan horse. When you download that, you are giving China direct access to your phone and everything within it. It's right there in the fine print when you go to read it. They have access to everything at that point. Even when they're not using the app, any message you send on any other platform is recorded and sent back. Yeah.
To promote propaganda, or at least desensitize, or at least hypnotize an entire generation within the country that you want to take over. Manipulate the algorithm so that those people are only receiving specific messages that you want.
Yeah, like a bunch of retarded, stupid ass shit. Because in China themselves, they don't allow all that stupid ass shit on their TikTok. That they promote talent. They promote hard work and dedication. But in other countries that they want to weaken, they promote things that help prep the masses for weakness.
Them to receive. Maybe you'd start by doing that, and then maybe the next thing that you would do is you would take control of the food supply. At the very least, you hike up the prices. But if you were really trying to take over a country, maybe what you would do is you'd actually poison the food supply so that you'd make an entire generation sick, so that it's way easier to take control over those people economically and then through their physical health.
Well, that's already going on. It's just not quite as overt, but like all the bullshit they put in the food, you know, definitely like slowly over time degrading the human genome and the DNA.
I'm just saying, if I was going to do it, I wouldn't be smart enough to come up with that. That would be a genius way to do it. Yet that's exactly what's happening in our country right now. You have our southern border completely open, people from all over the world, military-aged men, even from the Middle East, which we don't have a great relationship with people over there right now because of what
It's actually a lot of them coming from the Middle East and a lot of them coming from China.
we've been doing. But you have people coming over through the southern border, and there's a complete invasion there, and then you have our food supply being sold to these other people. I want to
Total accident. Total accident. Couldn't happen on purpose. They wouldn't have done that.
share with you one final thing at the end of this video of why you and I should, like, if this doesn't make you care, what I'm about to show you is going to make you care. But first, let me share with you what's interesting, though, is if you want to help, if you want to be a part of the solution, this is why I'm so passionate about what I get to be a part of, not just in ministry, but also in business. I've partnered with an American manufacturer that is actually, it's owned by Americans, has no intention of being sold out to our foreign adversaries.
All right, Cap. All right. You're cool, Cap. I like you, bro. You got your thing going on. See, look at that. We agreed on damn near everything in this video. Look, bro. American patriot. You're gonna have to kill me. You're gonna have to kill me, bro. So, yeah. I started watching this a little bit with Cap. I'm like, I gotta react on this one. So, thanks for rolling with the dark light. I think I've dropped most of my major points I had on the issue. For those coming to America, this is a land, and if you have tyranny in your hearts, you will soon find out. If you have tyranny in your hearts and you come to America, you will find out this ain't the place for it. There's a year of freedom in America. Okay? And good luck with that. Good luck with that. The American population is more armed than the American military. Good luck with that. You might do all right in them cities out there where it's easy to control people, all these weak-minded people, but when you start coming out to the woods, you're going to find out. Coming out to these woods, man. And speaking of which, last weekend there was two big-ass military aircraft flying low as hell, like right over my property. It was so loud, I thought it was like a damn bulldozer or something coming down my driveway. And I come out and I see this, and it was huge. It was green. It was a military, like a cargo, like a military cargo, flying low as hell over the Ozark Mountains. There's some shit going on out here in the Ozark Mountains, y'all. Just wanted to drop that little nugget on top of it too. So, thanks for rolling with the dark light, stepping into Dane's world. I appreciate it, y'all.